Mordant. Welcome to the other side of live.
And now the other side of live, coming to you from deep inside the Bear's Den, is our Mordant.
Thank you, and welcome to the other side of live. You are right. We are deep inside the Bear's Den here at the Bear Crawling Nation in Monticello, Georgia, or as they say, Monticello, kind of like Versailles, Kentucky, or Paris, Texas.
And who's on Skype with us?
Right now we have Ronnie Rocks on Skype. Welcome, Ronnie Rocks.
Hi there.
Okay.
I'm still trying to find, I can't see you yet. I'm still working on it.
That's all right. And in the side panel, we have people showing up. We've got Hello Kelly, Detached Lotus. Who's the third guy?
Who's the third guy?
That's Tom.
I can't read it.
Oh.
Shaden.
Is that Tom? He's not saying
I don't know.
And who's on the bottom? We got somebody. Sharon Watson in the house. Who's texting me, telling me that everybody's texting me while we're on the show.
What the effing hell?
Whoa. What now?
Nobody can hear. Nobody can hear on the live.
Yeah. Do you have it set up to go through
I've got it set up what it's supposed to go through. It's supposed to go through. It was working. It was working a minute ago. And now it's decided not to. This is why I don't like Stickam.
Sharon Watson says, "Get off the phone, hooch."
Why is it not?
Detached Lotus says, there's no sound right.
We're working on it.
Nothing but professionalism here at the other side of live. Is it working?
It's deciding that it's not one to put out for some reason. It's working because Ronnie's here.
Oh, is it recording over here?
Yes, it's recording over here.
So
and Ronnie hears this, but for some reason, Stickam.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
There we go. Stickam muted the microphone.
Everybody, thumbs up if you can hear me.
All right, now everything should be good.
Thumbs up in the side panel if you can hear me.
There, you got a thumbs up.
There we go. All right. Welcome to the other side of live.
You want to start over?
No, I don't want to start over. That was fun the way it is. It would not be the other side. That's the thing with being a live show. It would not be the other side of live without technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be bear crawling if it wasn't technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that on bear crawling. So far, it's only been my experience. Because the road show that we were just on, flawless.
Well, except that you were on it, but...
Flawless. No, I brought it to a new level. Don't diss on me.
Yeah, you did well. You did well.
So tonight we are supposed to be talking about, and a heavy accent on supposed to be. We are supposed to be talking about goal setting, and I have my notes, and let me just fan them out a little bit. As you can see, I have a lot of notes on goal setting. However, I think if nobody has any objection, we're going to do something a little different.
I object.
I think that we're just we are so amped and having a good time, but we're going to save goal setting for another time unless people start saying, no, I desperately need this. I will happily field your goal setting questions if you want to throw them in, but we're just going to chat tonight and have kind of a variety night.
How about we just invite them to call in and ask questions and talk about anything they want to?
That's a great idea. Why don't you call in 813-413-7133. Call in, chat with us. We'll answer your questions and talk to you, and then you're going to have to get out because it eats up our bandwidth we found on Skype.
Especially here in the Bear's Den, because I'm maximizing the use of the bandwidth on the multiple computers right now.
But until then, it's just the three of us, unless somebody else wants to call in. How's everybody's week been? Ronnie Rocks, I haven't talked to you. We didn't see you last time. How was your week?
South by Southwest was mind-blowing and fabulous, and then I moved into a house and did just some of the business stuff I have to do to get on the road. I have businesses in Texas, Atlanta, and New York, and I had to deal with some of the Texas. I'm actually flying back to Texas next week to deal with some more of that. But so I was just I'm kind of busy.
Well, yeah, especially now. But right now, aren't you relaxing in Fairburn, Georgia?
I am. I'm kicked back in the apartment, which I would show you if I could get my webcam to work. But
she totally could have been here tonight.
And
no, she's setting up. She can be here some other night.
No, I'm setting up.
It's the week before. I know she couldn't have been here tonight. I can't even be here tonight.
Yeah. You know, those of us with responsibility for a pile of employees have to be here and dealing with that.
See, I have to be there tomorrow because I have to get our merchandise cart out of her shop.
Yes.
Or her big husband will frown on me.
We worked around it today, and tomorrow we're going to spank him if he doesn't get it out of our shop.
And not in a good way.
But you got...
No, not in a good way.
So you got your first caller so far. Hello, Kelly is on the line.
Hello, Kelly. Hello, Kelly.
Hello.
Who must speak up because she's really quiet.
You have to speak up. Talk to your phone, baby.
Oh, sorry. It's kind of far away from me. Better?
That's much better. Much better. So what have you got for us tonight?
There you go.
How do I patch drywall?
Did you get that?
How do you patch drywall? Ronnie Rocks.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to patch drywall, or did you say attach drywall?
I think she said patch, like in filling in a hole.
Patch. How big is the hole?
There's a bunch of small ones. I took the wallpaper off in our spare bathroom because it was porous. Just ugly wallpaper, and I'm going to paint it. But when I was removing the wallpaper, I took some of the drywall with it.
Oh, right, no problem. Depending on how deep it is, like, so is it just like a little surface scratch, like you pulled off half of it, or did you pull a hole all the way through it?
I mean, it looks like there's cardboard under there or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, drywall is actually, it's a mashed bit of gypsum, and then it has paper on both sides, which looks like cardboard. So what you've done is you've gotten through, there may or may not have ever been paint on the drywall, which is how you normally see drywalls with paint on it, and then your wallpaper went on it. So you just see the drywall. Now, if you want to kind of even it out, you can get a small tub of drywall mud, and you want to get a wide, they call it a drywall knife, but it's like a trowel, and scoop some of that out, mix it up good first to make sure it's smooth, spread it over that, and when it's halfway dry, it's because you're never perfectly smooth the first time you do drywall, when it's halfway dry, hit the edges of it with a damp sponge to even it out, and get it like as close to straight as you can, or try to match the texture on it. There won't be a texture because they had wallpaper, but you can just put some drywall mud on it and then paint it or put up wallpaper afterwards.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you, hello, Kelly. Goodbye, hello, Kelly.
And for the record, when he puts his hand below the desk on the camera, he's looking at his phone.
That's right.
He keeps getting on your phone in the middle of this thing. And Ronnie just left.
Because people are texting in and going, when did this become the do-it-yourself show? But it is that kind of night. We are having a kind of variety night. And fortunately, I have Ronnie Rocks, who I know has built her own stuff, who has repaired her own stuff. So I was able to field that question to her. And thank you for the odd question. Hello, Kelly. Anybody else wants to call in with something else? I don't know. Maybe something philosophical or, about relationship stuff. Or heck, what the heck? We'll talk about goal setting maybe. Why don't you just call in? We'll talk about. But if you want to talk drywall, we've got you covered. We've got you covered here at the Bear's Den at Bear Crawling Nation. At the other side of live. Too many titles. It's like I have too many names. How many names do you have?
Me?
Yeah, you.
One.
You have one name?
I can't repeat it on air. You're
I am Namath. I am Namath is calling, and she beat out.
All right, I am Namath. Go ahead.
Oh, hello.
Aya.
I am Namath.
How are you?
I am most excellent. How are you?
I am fabulous. I thought I would call in and, talk about goals.
That's excellent. First of all, did I get your name right?
You can just call me Aya.
Not Aya Namath?
Yeah, just Aya or Aya Namath. I mean, call me what you want.
Okay, it was my goal to get your name right, but apparently I didn't do that, so.
Well, no, I mean, you're close.
All right, Aya, so what is your question?
I want to talk about, because I'm big on goals, but
I've tried like different types of goals where you do the short-term goals and you slowly reach the big one.
Right.
Or you've done the long-term goals.
Yeah.
Which one do you find works better for you?
You know what? It's good to have a course that you're going on to. It's good. What's that noise?
I think somebody's speaker's still on.
Somebody's speaker. If you're calling in and your speaker's on, please turn it off because we're getting
mute it.
Just mute it. There you go. It's good to have a destination. You have your big goal. I want to become this, or I want to do this, and then you break it down into actionable steps, into your baby steps, and then you hit one of those and you try to do something every day. So, what is one of your goals that you're talking about?
Right now, I've just been trying to just eat really healthy and lose weight, and I've been trying to. I work out a lot, but I've been trying to get to the gym at least twice a day now.
Right.
And I usually do the whole thing where I'm like, okay, I see myself in the future, really skinny in this size 0 dress, and that just never worked because I was like, wow, that is so far off. But lately I've been doing it where it's small steps. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get down to this size in a month. I'm going to try, or this size.
Right.
And in a week, by doing that in a week, I've lost a little more than 5 pounds. And it's just worked a lot. It'll work a lot better for me.
Absolutely, because you need to be specific with your goals. Hey, I want to lose weight will not serve you as well as I want to lose 10 pounds by this such and such a date. I want to lose 10 pounds by April 30th. And then as you hit that goal, your body starts to move towards that. You've got a definite plan. You're also connecting with the universe, so you're stirring the quantum soup, so things are happening. You also have to act on that as well. You can't just think about it and then not do anything about it. You have to eat well. Exercise is always good. Things like that. But definitely being very specific with your goal. Something that you can see. You can see it when it happens. Saying, "Oh, I want to make more money," doesn't serve you as well as I would like to earn this much, such and such amount by this time. So yeah, actually, doing it the way you just did it was great.
I think something that gets really hard, especially with weight loss, or with any goal you're trying to reach. I'm a performer, and my goal is to get my SAG card.
What kind of performer? I'm sorry. What kind of performer?
Sorry?
What do you do?
Oh, I do musical theater.
Excellent. Oh, SAG, SAG, S-A-G?
Little film. Yeah, well, that'd be for film. I'm trying to get my SAG and my equity.
All right.
SAG.
But with reaching those goals, you sit and you said today, I want it by this time, and I want to get in this many professional shows, and I have to be in this many professional shows, or if it's weight loss, I have to lose this much weight by year, and then, you get discouraged because people don't start to notice. What do you do if you start to get discouraged? Because I know that happens. I have a lot of friends who, they come to me for help with weight loss, what do I do? I'm not noticing the difference. I'm kind of stuck in this certain weight. How do you keep yourself motivated when you feel like you're not moving, but you're still trying?
For me, the thing that always works is to make kind of a game out of it. We will tend to get bored. Our bodies will get bored. Things will happen if...
Hey, go home. Say goodbye.
Hi, how are you?
Right.
Hi, we're being
Dude, pay attention.
I'm sorry, we're being invaded by children. And they're very adorable.
Oh.
What was I saying?
She's talking about goals and losing weight.
It's a game. You're making a game of it.
Oh, yeah, making a game of it. I've talked to some people as far as going to the gym, and they're like, oh, yeah, I work on everything all the time. I'm like, you're going to get bored. You're going to hate that. You're going to hate life, and you're not going to want to do it anymore. You have to split everything up. You have to work on, certain muscle groups, certain times that you go. You work on a muscle group once a week. That's it. So the same thing with dieting. You have to make sure that you can kind of make a game out of it. You can keep yourself engaged to it. If you're finding that some diet's not working for you, then perhaps, switching diets, just to change things up. I remember watching a show, and what they did was they took a bunch of different diet plans to see which would work the best on these different people. And they found that the ones that worked the best were the hypnosis, because what it did was it had them eating healthier. And that was all it did. They were hypnotized so that they wanted to eat healthier. And the other thing was Atkins diet in the beginning. Atkins diet, they lost a lot of weight that way. in the beginning, working out with weights, it moved really, really slow because muscle actually weighs heavier than fat, so you're not really losing the weight. You're kind of just moving everything around. But eventually, it all balanced out. So you find the thing that works for you, and if you're getting bored with that one thing, change some things up. If you're finding something that's not working for you at all, you're going to have to find something else. You have to find what works for you, and try to make a game out of it. But absolutely, if you're going to set goals for yourself, you have to be specific, because if you're not specific, then you really don't know what you want, and the universe doesn't know what you want, and it doesn't really know what you're asking for. I want to be great at musical theater. I want to be a success at musical theater. What does that mean? What does that look like to you? I want to do this many shows within this year by this date. Okay, there's something to strive for. Then you can even do something that's called the Merlin factor. Merlin in King Arthur and the Knights, he lived time backwards. So what you do is you see yourself at the end of your goal, and you figure out, okay, what's the step that gets me right to there? Okay, what's the step that comes just before that? And what's the step that comes just before that? So you can back that way all the way up to where you are now, and then move those forward. So that's another way of doing it. Cool. Does this answer your question?
She's gone.
Oh. Well, I hope that answered your question. Apparently, you've been censored.
No. FSTY Brat in the chat room. FSTY Brat had a question. She can't call in. But she said, what advice would you have for somebody who has a career currently and doesn't want to give it up, who wants to go back to college and earn a degree? How do you find a balance?
If time is your problem, then you're going to have to work your way into college slowly. If time is your problem and you're finding that you're not going to be able to spend enough time hitting the books as well as balancing your job and your career that you love, take a class, take 2 classes, whatever. Underachieve to success. Underachieving to success does a couple of things. One, it allots you enough time to do everything, or at least enough time that you're not going to be crazy trying to do everything. The second thing it does is it really keeps you hungry. Because when you're hungry, you're like, oh, I know I could do more. So that the next day you're like, oh, I still really want to do it. As opposed to, I'm going to do all this stuff, and then you get burned out. So underachieve to success. Try 1 class, 2 classes at a time. But absolutely you can. If it's something that's connected to your work, maybe there's something you can do talking to your boss about how you can work those things out. If this is just something that you want to do on the side, plus you love your career that you have right now, go in slowly. Go in slowly. You always want to keep your bread and butter, especially if you're supporting a family. You always want to have that foundation. Family first, period.
All right. Kendall, I believe Kendall was the next caller.
Detached Lotus, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I am drinking.
I'm actually talking this time. You can't pick on me now.
I'm drinking out of your cup. Thank you.
Yay! I know I saw that earlier, and I'm like, I can't hear what he's saying now.
What question do you have?
Well, just on what we had been talking about with everything going on at my job, to kind of give everyone else background, I was actually going to quit today because I was having a lot of issues with feeling like no one in my workplace respected anyone else, and everyone was just going behind everyone else's back as opposed to talking to them to their face. And a person that I work with, the one person in my store I thought I could trust, I did talk to her today. She did, in fact, go behind my back to my manager and say that I didn't want to work on shipment crew anymore. And I talked to my manager today, and my manager essentially promised me that if that happened again, she would come to me and let me know. So I've decided to stay there, and I'm wondering if that's a good idea or not. If it seems silly to kind of give them a second chance, or if I should just cut my losses and leave.
Is it a job that you love?
It's the job that I'm used to.
If it was a job that you love, if you love the environment, if you love the people you're with, then absolutely fight for that. If it's really giving you joy, if you're happy every time you're there, and it's enriching your life, absolutely fight for that. If it's not, then you're staying there because of fear, you're staying there because of comfort, and unfortunately you get what you deserve. You're allowing that in your life, so they're going to keep pooping on you until finally you go, I've had enough. You're going to keep having bad experiences.
Well, that's kind of what today was.
Right. But unfortunately, apparently it wasn't enough for you. You still want it. Oh, give me more. So you'll write it out, and maybe it'll be okay for a while, and maybe it'll get better from here, and this will turn into the job that you love. but I know you a little bit, so maybe not.
Now, skill-wise, what do you do?
I work at Banana Republic, and right now they've reduced me to just a cashier because that's the one thing that, like, they can leave me alone in the store and it's fine. But I also can do shit. When I first started working there, I did shipment, visuals, I was a cashier, and I even did a little bit of sales, which is what I did at my previous retail job. I did everything.
So
and I was fine with that.
I'm sorry, you said the statement, it's the only thing I know how to do, but you could do that at any retail store.
Right, it doesn't even have to be there.
I mean, the Gap is hiring, it's the same thing. Come on, Pier 1.
And actually, the Gap is the same company that I work for, and they're not hiring. But the problem is, I'm in,
what do you really love?
North Carolina, which is a small town, pretty much. And I've been looking around. There's nothing else open in retail. Everybody's cutting their staff and cutting their hours, and so I'm almost kind of stuck there.
Are you in love with retail? Is that your thing? Is that what really moves you?
Well, I mean, I'm remembering my first job in retail at Ann Taylor, and I would leave work in a better mood than when I got there half the time.
Right.
And so I'm kind of remembering that, going, why is it different now?
Well, I'm trying to.
What is it about this store?
What do you really love doing? I know it's not retail. What is it that you really love?
Well, the horses, but I can hardly do that as a profession right now.
Horses.
Okay, but I can help you with that. You can do a job that you don't enjoy and have the hobby that brings you love and excitement in your life, and you find your balance there. You can take the crap from the people as long as you're cleaning up the crap with the horses because you're happy.
Or if you have a hard time leaving retail, why don't you find a retail store that has something to do with horses?
Oh, like a tack store? There's about 4 of those within 100 miles of me.
A tack, there's got to be something else out there.
Hello. But not as far as, like, horse retail goes, but...
Well, I don't know. That's something. See, that's where your due diligence comes in. That's where your homework comes in. You know, Jack Canfield, who did the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, 144 publishers said no. Not after 17, not after 25, not after 35, 144, and they kept going. So how much, it's almost like the universe saying, do you really want this? Do you really want something that's going to make you feel good about yourself? Do you really want to do something that you love? Or do you want to stick with this, which is easy for you? And even the easy things becoming hard. So...
Yeah, I mean, I have thought about asking the trainer at my high school, where I got my horse from, if she needs help, but I know that she does have a second person already.
Right, but you don't know that talking to her is not going to lead you to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, she would definitely know somebody around here. And I saw that Sharon said board horses. I actually can't. I don't technically have land there on my grandfather's property right now, the horses I have, but we don't really own that. It's up for sale, so once it sells, I have to move.
Right, but there are other options out there. If you keep telling yourself no, there's nothing else out there, then that's the whether you think you can, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're absolutely right. Henry Ford said that. So it seems like you're putting roadblocks in front of you that may not already be there. Oh, this other person, this lady already has somebody else working for her. Yeah, but she might know of somebody else. Well, there's only 4 retail horse places. Yes, but they might know of something else you haven't thought about. Now, I'm only bringing up the horse thing because you said that's what you love, and you've told me that before. And if Banana Republic's not working for you, why not be miserable in a place that is connected to something you love, instead of being miserable in some place where everybody is backstabbing you and biting at you? It's not working for you anymore, and you're going to stay there until it really just sucks enough for you to leave. I get that. Everybody's like that. But cut your losses and move on if that's not it. And if you're worried about the money, then stay there long enough that until you find something, and let that be the motivation for you to find something that you love.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did I answer your question?
Okay, well, that answers that. Yeah.
Well, good luck to you. I hope that you do move on and find something that you love.
All right. 6 something. I can't get the numbers. There's too many things on the screen. 6 something called in.
Hello?
Well, that person chimed in. Who is that?
Yes, but she didn't call in next.
Okay.
All right, talk to her. Whoever's saying hello, go ahead, I guess.
Hello, it's Veronica.
Hi, Veronica. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome to the other side of live.
How are you?
Say hi to Big C.
Hi, Big. I can't call him that. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right.
You have a question?
Hello. Yeah, well, no, actually, I feel me and you talked about what detached lotus thing you were talking about this weekend, because I got to see my wonderful friend Ricky this weekend. And I feel her. She probably is getting sick of retail because she's probably getting a little older and a little wiser, and all the high school bullshit isn't flying with her anymore. And it's really hard in a recession, and if you're in a small town, it's even worse to find a job. But you're absolutely right. She should look for her love. And sometimes, I hate to say this, you got to do a lot of hard work to get something you love, whether it's a man or a job or an education. You know, you had somebody earlier that said, you know, I want to go back to school. How do I do that and work my full-time job? You take 1 or 2 classes, just like you said. You baby step it, because you're still one class closer every semester. And with her, okay, volunteer with a tax place or volunteer somewhere. I volunteer at 3 places, and it's contacts. It's nothing else. It's people you know. And someday somebody will be like, man, I know this girl, and she would love this job that I saw. You know, it might be a year, it might be a year and a half, but at least she's getting to do something she loves to do on the side. Yeah. You got to pay your bills.
Good, very good advice. Very nice. Did you get that, Kendall?
You know, I was listening.
Detached Lotus, did you get that?
What's that?
Detached Lotus is gone.
No, she's there. I'm looking at her. I'm looking at her. She's on the side.
Thumbs up.
She thumbs up.
She's up. All right, good. Thank you, Veronica.
And cat app. I see cat app. All right.
All right. 612. 612
Veronica.
Code. You called in.
Hello, 612.
Speak up.
Speak up, or we're going to get rid of you. No, get rid of 612. If they're not saying anything, get rid of them.
All right, 480.
480.
Would that be me?
That'd be you. You won the prize.
This is Casey, Arizona.
Hi, who is this?
Casey.
Hi, Casey.
Hey, how are you?
Casey, what's your last name?
Westervelt.
Yay! Hi, Casey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. You were at my Mordant World meetup.
I was. That's actually why I'm calling in.
Oh, it is?
I actually went and got the book that you had suggested, the Eat That Frog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I am devouring it, and I love it, and I have set a lot of goals for myself.
Yeah, that's Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy.
Yes.
It's available in actually, I picked up my copy in a Kinko's.
A copy at Kinko's, really?
Yeah.
Really?
But it's also available on Audible.com. Who should really pay me for plugging them all the time? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about that book?
I like how he has the different things at the end of the chapters to tell you what to do. I don't know, my favorite thing from it is if you could do one thing all day long, which one task would contribute the greatest value to your life or your goal?
Yep.
And so when I was setting my goals, I wrote out the 3 goals, but then I put them in order of importance. What would be the most important to me to do right now to get to where I want to be?
Right. Well, what was that goal? Can you share?
Well, there's actually 7 different areas that you're supposed to go to. My one main goal is we actually set a 5-year plan to quit our jobs and go do what we really want to do. So we're setting that in motion.
And what do you really want to do?
Oh, God, do I have to say?
You don't have to say.
We want to go work at Renaissance Festival, honestly.
I'm just like, really? What do you want to do? What do you want? Do you want to perform? Do you want to own a craft booth? Do you want to?
Probably craft or working for the entertainment. I don't really have anything to offer in the entertainment part, so just mostly working for the entertainment. Following that, I've always liked the nomad life, so
right.
I kind of like that.
My advice to you is start off at your local fair, and then you're keeping your job, you're keeping your home and all that stuff, and figure out if you like it, and if you love it enough and you're able to make a living at it, and step out to a fair that's close to you. And then you go from there. I think I started off with my home show, and then my first year out in 1990, I think I did 2 shows. I did three actually, because I was jousting at a small Renaissance festival at Castle McCulloch in Jamestown, North Carolina, and from there I was a squire, and then I went to the Bristol Renaissance Fair, working with Ron. But he was doing his Scaramouche Commedia Jongler show, and we kind of snuck the Tortuga Twins show in. I called the general manager of the Kansas City show and got a gig there. So we had 3 shows my first year, and that was it. And a lot of years like that until finally this is all I do. So
you're saying life is short, have a fair? You know the slogan I'm spoofing there?
I like that. I like that.
Have a fair.
Have a fair or a festival. Have a fair, not a fair.
I know. Well, that's the Ashley Madison Life is Short having a fair.
Wait. Charles, say that again?
I was spoofing the Ashley Madison cheating site. It's Life is Short, have an affair. It said Life is short, so have a fair. Spoofing the slogan.
Yeah.
Ronnie Rocks. Look at her face right now.
Got it.
You see how it's just, she's going to get this. She's going to get a website with this name or something like that, and then she's going to rule the world.
Life is short. Lifeisshort.com.
You'll see it on T-shirts everywhere with little RonnieRocks.com.
There's an idea, Ronnie, while we got you. I know you do the food stuff and you do the hair stuff. Why don't you have Ronnie Rocks T-shirt booth at the fair? I'd love to buy a T-shirt.
Or even off your website.
Well, you know what? That's true. That's true. I mean, actually, we were just I should have included the 2 of you in the swag discussion today, as to what people really are looking for me, as far as memorabilia from my shops at the fair, and then otherwise as well. I have a large bakery at the largest Renaissance festival in America, and people want aprons and coffee cups and that kind of stuff.
Sure. Anything with that logo you have with the colorized face, you put that on anything with the term Ronnie Rocks or RonnieRocks.com, and it would sell anywhere. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. T-shirts, unless you're, say, a stage act, like some people we know, T-shirts kind of, some shows don't let you get into T-shirts because they have a scarcity mentality, and they think if they buy my T-shirt, they're not going to buy the festival T-shirt.
Yep.
So it's some serious politicking involved, and some back scratching and favor doing. All right, you can pay me a little less to do my show if you let me do my souvenir line. That kind of stuff happens. I guess every business has its negotiations that go on behind the scenes, and that's just part of ours. So part of my creative challenge is what products could I bring out that aren't going to threaten the show, like aprons, So
Ronnie Rocks coffee mugs.
That was one of the things. Yeah, especially because I sell the organic fair trade coffee in Texas. That's an easy one. But because my shop in Texas has a specific theme, being staffed by tartan tartlets, do people want to see the Ronnie Rocks logo, or do they want a tartlet on it? I don't know.
Well, yeah, Ronnie Rocks is something completely different than the festivals. I'm talking about even away from that, because you've got your website and your blog and stuff like that. You can start throwing that up there.
Yep.
And at least your nerdy goofball friends will want to buy them from you. I know I do.
I would love to take one for free. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'll buy you one. I'll buy you one.
We'll trade for some video editing.
Hell yeah. You're here for 8 weeks roughly. We're gonna do some talking, some wheeling and dealing. While I have you.
Right. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm going to fly to Texas for 3 weeks, but then I'm back for 5.
When are you leaving?
Hello.
When are you
I'm leaving on the 21st, and I'll come back May 11th.
All right.
I got a new house to move into.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
And well, in a meeting, I'm actually officially flying to Texas for a meeting, but I gave myself some extra time so I can unpack some boxes.
All right. You can do that.
Talk about your phone number.
Oh, so if you want to call in and have these conversations with us, we are having kind of a variety show where you're just calling in and asking whatever you want to ask. It is 813-413-7133. Tonight we were supposed to talk about goal setting, but because I had such a good time on the road show, another member of the Bear Crawling Nation, I decided that, well, let's just kind of riff tonight and we'll do goal setting another night. We're not going to do it next time, but we will. I've done all the work for it, so let's do it some other time. So, and I just wanted to see how this went, because I remember last time we had 3 people call in with questions, and that worked out really well. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Now you just threaten and tell me I missed a really good one. I see how you are.
Well, you know what? We're recording them all, so you get to hear it
eventually.
But are we recording? Good. Are we recording on Stickcam?
No, because it kills my bandwidth. If I do Stickcam recording, it will lose everything.
All right, that makes sense.
I've got to find a software, and anybody out there knows in the Mordant World Army, if anybody knows some free or cheap video capture software that works on Windows 7, I'd love to hear about it. bearcrawling@gmail.com, so that. And you would use it too, so you can record on your computer and not use up the bandwidth. And then you can put out the video podcast.
Where would I put it at?
BearCrawlingNation.com and MordantWorld.com. And don't ask me that while we're on the air, I'll school you. I don't know. So, I had a question.
Wait, who's the last person? That person's new.
Loveless?
Loveless? Like Miguelito Loveless from Wild Wild West?
She's waving, but she's not smiling. That's not cool.
Hi, Loveless. And I can't read that one there.
Yeah, Ronnie Rocks. You got Denny Dimples.
Denny Dimples. Denny Dimples, are you in Georgia? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are you in Georgia? Denny Dimples. Are you in Georgia? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
No.
Okay. I thought you were. All right. Well, never mind. I'm not going to see you at all.
So why don't you talk about what's important to them? Have you worked out a meetup while you're here in Georgia?
I have not, but I have learned from my previous error of procrastinating to the point until it was the week before I left, and all my people are saying, why aren't you doing a meetup here? We want to meet up here. And I had to scramble madly and find a place to do it. So actually it is in the works where now I have minions searching. Although they don't like to be called that. I have a team, Mordant World team, searching for a place to do a Mordant World meetup. It will be sometime, probably in about 7 weeks.
Okay.
By the end of the time my time here.
I say minions is a better term than cannon fodder.
Oh, I would not use cannon. I love minions, especially with Despicable Me coming out, or that has come out. It's just, you have minions. They don't have to be evil minions. They're just minions.
There you go. Trailbot put in the chat room, I came back from France for this.
Are you kidding me, Trailbot? Welcome back. You must be in New Orleans right now. So, whatever. Cultural lady with, cultural mecca happening everywhere. Just because we're in Monticello, Georgia, don't mean you got to be hating on us.
And another person I think you should talk to for the other side of life, the interview process that you have, or the other side of life. We're talking about it. Well,
right.
We're fine-tuning and branding. When we launch the website, we'll have one name for everything. No worries. But Sharon Watson, the guru of the Tortuga fan club.
That's right.
Head honcho.
I want
to talk to her. I'm going to have her on. Hopefully she'll come on.
You should have her on the Bear Crawling Nation.
Yeah. Then she can be free.
Yeah, I think she could be a honchica or something.
Honchica.
Yeah.
Now, right
honcho
now.
Sounds
well, she calls herself Fan Honcho. I think it's one of her email addresses.
Something like that.
Oh, okay.
Though right now, while we're just riffing back and forth,
Prostituga. Did you see that? Prostituga.
That's all us 3 Tortugas. That's who we are. Actually, right now, while we're just riffing back and forth, if you want to call in with any kind of questions about goal setting, about relationships, about chasing and catching your dreams, 813-413-7133. Happy to talk to you. We already fielded a question about drywalling, so
no more drywalling. But other than that, we're good.
I'm only praying that there's no auto questions. I'll be like, I don't know. Yep, that's an engine. So feel free to call in. Otherwise, you're just going to get more of this. How about you, Trailbot, is that right? Trailbot?
Yeah, Trailbot.
Why don't you call in and regale us about your trip to Paris?
And if you don't have minutes on your phone and you have your computer and you have Skype on your computer, you can Skype. Is it Darth Mordant? Darth.Mordant.
Darth.Mordant.
And it's free.
Or you can just not call in. And we'll talk more about stuff.
More stuff.
Oh, I'm going to talk a little bit about goal setting. I'm not even going to go through my huge notes, but I am going to talk about goal setting and why it's important to me because, like as I said before, you can have some, I want to be richer, or I want to be in movies, or I want to be, on the internet doing radio, and that's not much of a goal because it doesn't have a definable end goal that you're going towards, and that's what really helps you move towards something. If you make something as specifically as you possibly can, I want to audition for 3 movies by every month. That's a goal. That's a baby step goal. I'm going to audition for 3 movies every month. I will be in a movie I will have a speaking role in a movie by December 21st. 2011. That's another goal. Be very specific with your goals.
I will be doing public speaking by the first week in June. It was recorded last year.
That was a goal last year that went by the wayside, and there's outside my comfort zone. Look, a bus. That's me under it. So that's still one of my goals.
I'm always going to bring it back to you. So on your goals, when are you going to do public speaking?
I did a little bit of public speaking at a Toastmasters. I did actually give a speech at Toastmasters, which is kind of cheating because I'm not being paid for it. But if I could find something that I could do just a 5 or 10 minute speech, yeah, I could do that. Free
is good as long as your mind counts it. Because I know you have like a fear of public speaking. So as long as you feel like you spoke in public, it counts.
Right.
You don't have to be paid.
I think my Mordant World meetups count.
Are you nervous before?
No, they don't.
That's
visiting.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Okay, when are you gonna have a Ronnie Rocks meetup?
Yeah. I want to go to that one.
Because that will be something with a lot of food, and you'll have Chef Jack's there.
A lot of food, yeah.
Yeah, it's called Ron's birthday.
Now we're talking.
I think Chef Jax is coming out to the festival this weekend. She already hit me up for tickets.
I think we could have a really fun thing where Chef Jax and I try to teach you how to cook.
Oh!
I've got to record it.
Yes, I would so do that.
We'll use Miles and Linda's kitchen. It's beautiful.
And who's? Oh yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I'm all about it.
Schedule it for Wednesday, and I'll
Charles, it's a quarter of a mile from the fair side.
Sweet.
We could totally do it.
I mean, if we can set it up, I would do it, and we can do a multi-camera shoot because we have at least, they won't all match, be different, but there'll be multi-cameras.
Yep.
But there's good background story in the fact that you're trying to maintain health and fitness without, on the road and without the ability to cook. I think it'd be awesome.
Right.
I think we just found our Food Network documentary right there.
What do you think about? Okay, I may be stepping into a can of worms here. What do you think about macrobiology? Ready, Ronnie Rocks? Go. Yeah, macrobiotics. Maybe that's it. Macrobiotics. I had somebody talk to me about it.
I will say that when we share kitchens with macrobiotics, we tend to call them macroneurotics. But
what are you talking about? Let's see that.
Macrobiotics is a food concept. It's from the Far East, and it has like the only grain that you can eat is brown rice, and then you can only eat vegetables and fruit that are in season in the part of the country or the world that you're in. And so it can be really restrictive, but at the same time it can also be extremely healing. It's a vegetarian, it's pescatarian. You do fish, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't remember.
Well, the thing that I was told about it was...
I've got a book on it to help out there next week.
Yeah, somebody actually had cancer, and they went to they were supposed to be dying in 6 months or something like that, so they went to a macrobiologist, and they're like, eat this and this and this and this and this, and within 6 months there was nothing there, no sign of the cancer at all. It's supposed to be a very healthy thing, and they're able to look at you and go, oh, look, it looks like you need this in your diet or that in your diet. But I'm a big meat eater. I mean, I've got the, according to the blood type diet, I've got O positive, and it's like all meats, and I don't do really well with grains, so I don't know if I'd be all right with the macro.
No, I'm fine. Well, and there's a woman named Chris Carr who did a documentary called Crazy Sexy Cancer.
Yeah.
And she has an inoperable cancer, and in this documentary she tried all kinds of alternative things, macrobiotics included, and she was able to put her cancer into remission, and she's still living with her cancer in remission. She just came out with a new book this year called Crazy Sexy Diet. And now she's since found that macrobiotics actually makes her too acidic, so she had to pull the rice out of her diet. Now, what really is going on with acid alkaline in a diet is if you have two petri dishes, one with an acid fluid and one with an alkaline fluid, cancer cells can reproduce in acid and they cannot reproduce and actually die in alkaline.
Right.
So Chris Carr is now not only a vegetarian, and she's eating an alkaline diet. The macrobiotic was an important step for her in getting to alkaline. At least that's what she says in her most recent book.
Okay. Maybe I want to see that book.
It's an awesome book. I'm reading it right now.
Is it on Audible?
I don't know.
Because I'll listen.
I know you don't read books, you listen to books. But I bought the book. It is a visually entertaining book. Like it was obviously printed by like a magazine company because it's broken up into blocks so you can dissect just a patch of it at a time.
Right. Well, I want to clarify. I can read a book. Just don't read a book.
Okay. Well, we got. Go ahead.
All right, I think we lost her.
All right. What was wrong? We've got.
I'm here. What did you say, Charles?
I was just going to say we got 704 area code on the
704.
line.
That is Carolina. Hello, 704.
Magic Artist.
Magic Artist in the chat room.
Magic Artist.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, Hannibal the Magician. I'm at the Carolina Ren Fest.
You're a magician at the Carolina Ren Fest.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So you're kind of a big deal, is what you're saying.
So you're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I'm the biggest thing in Charlotte.
What's your question?
Well, I didn't really have one. I really just wanted to join in. I'm brand new to Stickum tonight, just setting it up and trying out the bells and whistles, really. And everybody was putting the number up, so I called in.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, how are you liking it so far?
Liking it so far. The lag is a little strange, but I'm getting used to it.
The what? Oh, the lag, yeah.
Lag, yeah, right, whatever.
Yeah, I try not to look at people talking, otherwise it's just weird.
Right. No, I'm a magician. I do the Ren Fest for fun, basically. And public speaker, and I've been chasing this dream of mine for 18 years now.
Yeah. What level of public speaking do you do?
Basically, academic corporate type stuff. I'm an entertainer, but I'm being hired to tell the story where I came from. I started off just doing street magic and built myself up through comedy clubs and into the corporate world.
So you incorporate your magic into your public speaking?
Yes.
See, there you go.
So
there's a shtick.
Is it the same Ren Fest that you do in Carolina?
Yes, it is the same Ren Fest.
So maybe you can hook up with him and he can school you on how to talk.
Or do magic.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, I will see you in October, I guess. Unless you come out to the Georgia Renaissance.
November. You catch us when it's warm and you leave us when it's cold.
I'm sorry?
I said you arrive when it's warm here. And then
and leave when it's cold. Yeah. You know what? And you're not that warm. Because I arrive in Minnesota when it's hot and sweaty, and by the time we get to Carolina, it's a little hot sometimes, but not really. It's beautiful. It's fall. The leaves are changing, and it does this Florida boy's heart good to see the leaves change. It's so pretty.
Right. It's a good time of year to be here for those kind of things.
Absolutely.
And Carolina's just, the trees and everything at that time of year is absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely. I'm going to give a shameless plug out to myself and to everybody, though, right now. I invite you to become my friends on Stickam. I know that you can friend me here, but also look at each other and go ahead and friend each other on Stickam. Be each other's friends, and, that way we can keep tabs of what everybody else is doing and have that kind of community. So, Mordant World Stickam right here, and everybody else, check out everybody else. This is social
Ronnie, and I'm unable to get to my
Say again, Ronnie?
No, we lost her. I was calling her back.
You hung up on Ronnie?
I got her voicemail.
Oh. We don't want to talk to Ronnie Rocks anyways.
Look at her face.
Look at her face. I think she's cussing at us.
I think
so. No. Yes, mistress.
I love the faces that you're making. That was awesome. So, you're saying Facebook.com. Like us here on Stickam.
No, it's like us here. Become our friend here at stickcam.com/MordantWorld. Go ahead and like each other. You can always find us on Facebook.com/MordantWorld. But I'm not just plugging myself here. Plug everybody else. This is social media. Be social. Know each other. Have, I don't know, maybe you guys will have a show as well. And I'll pop in sometime. As I did for the Road Show, another Bear Crawling Nation institution.
Are you going to be here live Thursday night? Are you going to come in for that?
What?
Thursday night, Bear Crawling Nation live.
No.
You'll be here? No, you're too
No, I think I'll be in North Carolina.
So you're scared.
I think I'll be in North Carolina to get my truck fixed.
What's wrong with your truck?
Is that what you call it?
The back, yeah. I got a little something wrong with my rear end.
Somebody need to check it out. my pipe's a little rusty.
If the good people at Rims One would call me back, I'd be happy to get my truck fixed. I'll pimp everybody out. I don't care. You have a business, let me pimp you out. As long as I get my rear end fixed, I'm good. Okay, I don't think I'm allowed to be on the Road Show anymore because there's too much Raphael in tonight's show.
But that's what people.
There was a good amount of Raphael in tonight's show.
So who we got up here now?
You got David.
Who's the guy in the middle? Shaden? Shaden's like walked away. All we got is
there's his shoulder right there.
His dirty room or something.
Yeah. he's busy doing life. So the next 2 months for MordantWorld.com, for the Other Side of Live, for the vlogs, what are your goals for the next 2 months?
I think I want to do more shows here in the Bears Den.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a given.
I'm going to get my website online. I've got a lot of backlogged homework that I know that my web guru is at the bottom of the side panel looking at me going, yeah, dude, you owe me a lot. I have been, closing up the Arizona show, traveling to Florida, loading in, doing the show, loading out, coming here, loading in for the last 2 weeks have been crazy. So I have a lot of homework that I am owed, or that I owe him.
You need to get David his stuff, because with a beard like that, I'd be afraid he's sending you a bomb in the mail. That's pretty rough looking.
I think that's just a good Irish beard.
Yes.
I want to answer Tina's question in the chat room. I love Margaret Lobenstein's book, The Renaissance Soul, Life Planning for People with Too Many Passions to Pick Just One. Has some great exercises in it. It is an incredibly useful book for people that do different things at once.
And we lost her. No, we
lost everybody.
We lost everybody. So we'll just keep on talking because we're still recording.
Yep, and, I guess...
it's reconnected. We're back on. Okay.
Okay, I was going to say something to the chat room. For those of you who are listening in our podcast, we have lost everybody from stickcam.com. So I'm looking at blank screens except for mine. It's just me and Charles here at the Bears Den. We're all by our lonesome. Even the chat room is silent.
So far...
Visions of sugar plums dancing in our heads.
So far, you've been in the Bear Crawling Nation for about 4 months now.
Oh, no, it hasn't been that long? I don't think so. 2 months. January, February, March, April. Dude, it's not even 3 months.
All right, fine. Here goes your anniversary present.
Whatever. Do you have an anniversary present?
I know you're getting your rear end fixed. I don't know if I want to answer that. But how's it treated you so far?
So far, so good. So far, so good. You guys have kept me on. Mostly, you kept me on task moving forward with what I need to do. Giving me direction as far as, or keeping me going in the direction that I've wanted to go in. It's like, instead of saying, here's my goals, and then I'm so swept away with everything else. instead of being swept away with everything else, you're like, no, this is what's next. This is what's next. So you guys have been good about that. So shameless plug for the Bear Crawling Nation.
There you go.
Woot, woot.
All your podcasting needs. Anything outside of that's just not worth listening to.
All right. So all of you who are back in the chat room, whatever that book was that was mentioned in the chat room.
Ronnie's back on.
And Ronnie Rocks. Facebook me a link to it,
back on the phone. I haven't found you online, though.
All right. Facebook.
The book is...
Really? Going to make me write it down? You're not going to Facebook it to me?
Yes. Well, I guess I can't. I'll Facebook it to the our Mordant Mom page.
That's perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
I love that.
Got it.
Thank you. Welcome back.
It happens.
Guru Dave. Welcome back, Detached Lotus.
So earlier in the show, in the chat room, people asked Ronnie where the largest, you said you have a baked goods booth at the largest festival in the nation, and they want to know where that was.
That is in just outside Houston, Texas. Last year we got 489,000 people in 19 days. It was started by the person that started the Minnesota show, which was the first permanent Renaissance festival in America. And then he moved to Texas where he could buy more land and build a bigger show.
How long have you been there?
My husband was his lead carpenter 30 years ago, and so he worked there for 3 years, and then 20 years later we came back. So we've been vending there for 10 years and then have been steadily growing our presence at that show. So now we have 4 food shops, and I have a campground. I have an acre that adjoins the festival, and I have a campground where I rent hooked up camping spaces to vendors who are living there for the 2 months of the show.
That's awesome.
You're busy checking the text.
Just see what
checking my phone.
Just see what time it was.
I got a clock here. I got a clock here. You just say what time is it? It's 10 o'clock.
All right.
Do you want to wrap it up and we keep going?
I think we can, if anybody wants to call in with more questions.
813-413-7133.
Yeah. I think this has been a lot of fun. I hope everybody's having a good time with tonight's variety show, meaning that we have a variety of stuff that we're just throwing at you, getting from you. Everything from drywalling to goal setting to getting my rear end fixed. From the fine people at Rims One in Mooresville, North Carolina.
I think you're just going up there for a girl.
No.
A guy?
In Mooresville?
I don't know. I don't know any of the little towns around your festival area.
It'd be like coming to Monticello for a, radio show.
You're fired.
Oh.
So I'm looking at the chat room. People are just talking to each other.
That's all right.
And we do tend to lose connection from time to time. It happens. But it frees up 3 spots for the video if everybody wants to get in. So
I think that's it. What about you? What are your goals?
To rule the world. I want to be bigger than Ronnie Rocks, and that's a huge goal to set. So I don't think I can do that.
I don't ever say that I want to rule the world. I say that I just want to bend it to my will.
There we go.
You need minions.
See, that's where it's. See, this is like the podcast axis of evil. Now I'm going to hook up with her. We're going to conquer Europe.
No. This is the other side of live. The other side of this is a positive. The podcast access of positive.
That's all right, Ronnie. I'll get you on that side.
Bending it to my will is positive.
That's right.
Hey, it's a benevolent dictatorship. Okay, benevolent being the key word.
That's it. That is, I am a benevolent dictator of my world. But to this book that I'm going to give you a link to.
Yeah.
Renaissance Soul, Life Planning for People with Too Many Passions to Pick Just One. One of the things that really works for people that are a Renaissance Soul and can't do just one thing and stay happy is to have an umbrella under which you do a lot of different things. And that's how I've managed to succeed, is I have the umbrella of all of my businesses, or almost all of my businesses tend to be at Renaissance festivals. And so then I can do a bunch of different things and not get bored.
Right. No, that sounds like a plan. It's kind of like what I'm beginning to do with Mordant Worlds, what I've done with Tortuga Twins. Hey, let's do this and this and this, and it's all just kind of under that. So.
Yeah.
But it still spreads you a little thin. So I'm curious to see what she says in the book, though, to take care of that. Now
it's good.
Oh, I was going to say, we have another caller, and then it went away.
And then they went away.
Hugh puts up the quote, "I don't want the world, I just want your half." So,
that's you from the Road Show.
Yeah, my ultimate goal is to get to the level that you and Ronnie are operating on, where you're working and you're doing what you love. Well, you're making money doing what you love.
Right.
You're entertaining, and she's cooking and running businesses and buying 500 website domains and selling them for profits, and it's awesome.
You're going to have to be more specific with that, though. You can't just say, hey, I want to... What's your specific goal in that? What is that thing that you love that you want to do?
I want to talk a lot, and I want to tell other people what to do. That is what I love to do.
So you want to do you want to have a radio show?
Of course. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to have a radio show because then you're working for the man, and you rely on advertisers, and you can be fired from your own show. They can cancel your show. I don't want a radio show. I want kind of like the Twit Network, which if you're not podcasting, Leo Laporte is the biggest name in tech. And Twit is This Week in Tech, but he built a whole network that he does what he wants. And advertisers can come and go, but it's still his network, and that's kind of what I want to do.
So you want to build your own network?
Basically. Yeah, I want to be the boss. I don't want to depend on
What's your next step?
Yeah.
Next step is signing Ronnie to do a show with me and getting her out there, pimping the nation. That's the next step.
Oh.
Oh, my.
We should talk.
I've been telling you, I'm warning you ahead. I'm going to get you in the corner at the festival. We're going to talk.
That just sounds creepy. I don't think that's how you mean it. I don't think this means what you think it means.
But definitely, I'm always seeking out interesting people to do interesting things. And I like people who... who are already, you were already looking to contact the world, and I gave you a new outlet. Ronnie has, here we go, 480. Ronnie has a blog that she does, food blog. I want to try to take that to the next level. I help you guys help me. 480, go ahead.
I don't think that's how you do it.
Hello, 480, Arizona, where are you at?
Oh, Phoenix. Sorry. I'm watching Ricky here, and I'm just like zoning. I'm in Arizona.
Who is this?
Mesa. This is Kathy.
Kathy, say your last name.
You know, some people don't do their last names.
I'm not sure what to give it.
Yeah, see, some people don't want to do their last name.
Oh, wait, no. Is it Kathy that I know with the funky last name? That's hard to pronounce?
I'm going to say a yes on that then.
I was at your birthday party.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
All right, that's who I meant. Yeah, Kathy, hi, how are you?
Well, I'm good. I was just watching all of this, and I have a question. And I just wanted to ask, with all this goal setting you guys are doing, do you ever find that it gets to be too much?
Yeah, indubitably.
That depends on what you're talking about. I mean, if you have a lot of irons in the fire, sometimes that's right. You even working against yourself. You know, I'm so busy so that I don't get anything done. It's also a way of keeping you from success. It's also a way of keeping you in failure. Oh, look, I feel really busy. It's called busy work. And I have a big problem with that, and I have to be careful of it. This year, I specifically decided not to do something. I've played with bullwhips in the past, and I had a chance to buy some brand new bullwhips and maybe start working on my skill again. And I was at the festival, and I was working out with them a little bit, and I was deciding whether or not I wanted to buy them. And I was like, you know what? With the amount of rehearsal that I might put into this, I could be putting it into my podcasting, I could be putting it into my Mordant World stuff, other stuff. I'm choosing not to take this on. And it is being responsible for what I really want to do, which is, reaching out with Mordant World, which helping people, etc., etc. And the bullwhips really didn't fall. It's kind of a nice thing to do, but if I had taken them on as well, it would have been cluttering things, and I would have felt really busy, but I wasn't necessarily accomplishing my goal. So, if that's what you're talking about, that can sometimes be something that you put in the way of yourself to help trip you up. If you have a fear of success, you can still feel successful, but you're so busy you get nothing done. You're just spinning your wheels. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, to the point where you sabotage your own goals and where you want to go in life. It's like I'm hearing a lot of, I just want to do this and I want to do this, but yet aren't you kind of, well, how do I put this? You want to make sure you prioritize exactly the goals that are most important for you, instead of just taking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then we'll just see what happens is what I was kind of hearing. And I just wanted to make sure that, because I kind of know that you're really goal-oriented. And I know the other people that I was listening to, I was like, God, how do you do all that without sabotaging yourself?
Well, I would like to take this one. He's very goal-oriented. He's got his list. I mean, he's got a list right here of stuff we're talking about already tonight. He writes stuff down. Me, I am more of a overall kind of guy. And I don't plan, and I tend to chase too many irons in the fire, as you would say, to kind of see what happens, because sometimes you never know what kind of door you're going to go through. So I think you should try, I'm not saying you, when I say you, I mean me. I think I should try every door that comes to me, because I never know what's going to take and what's not. But I do find myself crashing into walls, and I do find myself wasting time. I wouldn't say totally wasted, but if you're talking about making money and chasing a goal, I wasted about 6 to 8 months of my life last year trying to chase social media, trying to build a business on that. But I didn't waste it, because it's got me into business with our Mordant and being a partner and building there. It got me into talks with Ronnie and meeting her and trying to chase it. It got me into talks with other people. So while I wasted 8 or 9 months after the business, because I never made a dime and it didn't go anywhere as a business, I made connections and I met people that took me down the next step. But there's different goals, and my goal is to run the world of radio. I mean, that's my goal. I don't know how to make it smaller than that. That's what I want to do. I don't know how to get it down to bite-sized bits, whereas he'll give you the list. But if you're talking about losing weight, I mean, you can do multiple goals at once, but what you got to do is realize the only thing I can do to make it bite-sized is every once in a while I'll stop and go, is this productive? Am I moving forward? That's what I did with the social media. After about 8 months, I went, has it changed in 8 months? And the answer was no, because I really started it when I met our Mordant and when I met Ronnie. And I still had those relationships, and those had gotten stronger, but they would have gotten stronger anyway. So I dropped it. And that's the only way, and for somebody like me to make headway, is I'm going to hit every door running, and I'm going to hit it hard, and I'm going to spin my wheels, but I'll reevaluate to try to rein it in as much as possible. Yeah, I see my hand.
Okay.
A good book to read on this, The Art of Quitting. That's not the name of the book. The book is called The Dip by Seth Godin, and he talks about you have natural ability on one end, and on the other end you become the best of the best of what you always want to do. But in between that is that learning curve where you move beyond natural ability and you move into actually honing that into a skill of being the best of the best. And a lot of people drop off from the dip. So you have to decide for yourself, is it worth all that effort from being able to play the guitar a little bit to being able to play on stage in front of thousands of people? And if it is, then you'll make it to the other side. And most people don't make it to the other side. That's why there's a scarcity on that side. And that's why those people get paid so much money or get so much acclaim. So that is the dip. You decide whether or not it's worth it. But it's also a good, the art of being able to quit, saying, you know what, this isn't that important to me. Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, 144 publishers. Very important to them. And I think they're in the Guinness Book of Records for having 7, what is that called? Bestsellers? Yeah, 7 books, 7 titles on the best-selling list. So that's that.
Awesome.
Now, what is your, do you mind telling me one of your goals? Or one of the things you're shooting for?
Well, like I was listening, shooting for, the main goal right now that I'm shooting for is to get my book published. And I've gotten I think I told you 90 rejection letters. But I'm not giving up because I know it's what I need to do.
Right.
I also have a goal as far as becoming, with several of my friends, we're going into mediumship, past life regression.
Right.
That kind of field is where we're heading. And that's picked up. I also have 2 kids. I also work part-time. I also kind of help other people like you, and it's just like, okay, I don't feel pressure doing all that.
Right.
However, I know who I am, and I self-sabotage a lot.
Yep.
So how do I not go past that point in sabotaging everything I've already built?
You got to surround yourself.
Kind of overwhelmed.
Well, when you get overwhelmed is when you stop, but I think you agree you got to surround yourself with people who you trust without a doubt and let them say, hey, slow down, you're killing yourself here.
Figure out what that goal is of yours, are these other projects feeding that goal? Now, I've taught you a little bit about your book before, and I can't recall the rejection letters. Did they give you some pointers on what you need to do, some changes you might need to make?
No, actually, they did. Yeah, you're right. They did.
And have you done anything? Have you done anything as far as changing that book?
Actually, I'm working on that now, because after we had talked about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, it kind of dawned on me that I probably need to. Not everybody's into past lives. Not everybody believes it, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with it, but there's also books out there that have been published. So I have gone back and have kind of rescanned over the book.
Right.
To make changes.
Now you can keep a copy. You can keep a copy untouched. We live in a digital world. You can keep a copy untouched, and then you can make another copy that you're making your adjustments for. So if you get to the end of that and you decide, you know what, I don't like this, you still have your original. But you can also have the changed one that you can resend out to publishers or whatever. So you're not really losing anything. But if they're like, we like your book, but they're giving you a hint. Yeah. And you need to be able to work on that.
Now, in this day
and that's what after we had done that discussion, I kind of reevaluated that. I'm like, you know what? I do need to go back. I do need to kind of go back over that. So I'm okay with that. It's not a problem. It's just that I'm kind of feeling like, wow, I've got all this going. This is really amazing. How do I not just blow it all up?
Now, helping everybody out is a great thing, but if it's not helping you, and if in fact it's getting in the way of helping you, you add yourself to that list. You should be somebody that you're helping. To working on your stuff. I'm going to recommend 2 books. I'm going to recommend them to everybody out there, but they're both by Brian Tracy. One is called Goals, with an exclamation point at the end, G-O-A-L-S, Goals. The other is Eat That Frog. And he gives you a couple of ways of goal setting in both those books. Both of those are on Audible. They're also in book format, so...
Well, you're talking about the digital age. In this day and age, you can self-publish. And you'd have to look into it. I don't know the details, but I know you can publish to Amazon.com and do the Kindle. I think Google had a thing about Google Books where you can maybe publish to them. But is it a book that you could read into a microphone and record the chapters?
Oh yeah, I could do that. I checked into the digital age and stuff that's out there, and I mean, it's just I'm still kind of hesitant about doing that. But
also,
it's just a. Go ahead.
Did you have something?
Well, I was leading up to. There's a site called Podio Books. P-A-U-D-I-O. P-O-D-I-O. Podio Books. Like P-O-D-I-O. That is all. It's free. It's podcasting, but the idea is a lot of these authors, a lot of sci-fi authors actually are getting bigger now. They wrote these chapters and they read it, and maybe they had somebody put music behind it. They made it kind of like a drama, almost like you'd hear off of Audible.com. Podio, P-O-D-I-O, and you read it yourself. You publish it for free. Okay, it is free, but it's only in audio. And they got book deals. They got huge followings that got them the publishing book deals that made them money. That's just something to think about. And Gary Vaynerchuk says sometimes you got to put the information out, and people will then pay you for what is free in the first place.
Also, when it comes to books and even traditional book publishing, you should be working on what is called your platform right now. So the book is not the end all be all. You are the end all be all. The book is kind of your calling card. Instead of leaving somebody a card, you'll leave somebody a book. And then maybe they'll come to you, and I don't know if you provide a service as well with past life regression and all this kind of stuff. But if you do, your book is your calling card. But you should be building your platform so you have that business as well, so that maybe you're doing video blogs or writing a blog, or you're there on Facebook, and people get to know you as the lady who does this kind of stuff. So when the publisher comes to you and go, well, what's your platform? Do you have anybody do you have anybody that's going to listen to this or that wants to buy your book, hey, look, I have, 1 to 5,000 followers on Facebook. I have video blogs on YouTube that they're watched by 300 to 1,000 people every time. And that takes time to build all that up. Publishers are going to start to stand up and take notice. Then, you've got a following already.
Yeah, and as you suggested, I started putting a Facebook page for the book on, creating it as we speak. So
please go ahead and send me a link to that. So
okay.
I can
when I get it done, I will definitely do that. And
make sure it's a fan page. Don't do a friend page.
No, fan page. It's a fan page.
For those who don't know, friend pages, you're only allowed to have 5,000 followers. Fan pages are unlimited.
Because friend is a personal thing.
Yeah, it's a personal thing.
Right, it's more family and friends things. But the fan page, you can have more on it, and I've kind of been working on it. So thank you. Makes sense. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you, Kathy.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
There was something I was going to ask Ronnie, but I forgot. But yeah, in this day and age, you got to start thinking outside the box. Especially, there is no reason, and I think Pearl Jam honestly led this charge back in the '90s. There's no reason to depend on somebody else to make you money. And they led the charge by getting away from Ticketmaster. So we're not going to sell through you because you charge our fans too much to buy through you. And they got away from Ticketmaster. And it might have hurt them. It might not. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I know they're still decent. They're still putting out records. Radiohead, I know you might not know some of these bands. They're just examples. But Radiohead, a huge band in the 90s. Major labels. They decided to self-publish their music. And they've been selling stuff through iTunes. Self-published and making a fortune, cutting out the record label, cutting out the middleman. The Podiobook.com was started as a podcast. People listen to books that are said, but J.C. Hutchins has gotten a huge book deal. Scott Sigart, S-I-G-A-R-T, they write horror fantasy novels that got them books, got their books published because of the measurable downloads that they gave away free. Listening to it free. Vaynerchuk started doing YouTube videos, and now he has a channel on Sirius, and he's all over the place.
He has a channel on Sirius?
Yeah, he has not channel. He has his own show on Sirius. Yeah, he does a live show on Sirius now.
What? Do you know where it is?
No, I don't. I have the satellite, so I don't check it out. But
excellent.
So free gets you paid. That's the new millennium. Free gets you paid, man.
So there you go. So we've been talking about it's our variety show tonight. We were supposed to talk about goal setting, so we did do a lot of goal setting stuff. I believe that we'll do another show on goal setting where we hit a lot of this information that I spent so much time on last night till 2 in the morning. But I think that's it, unless somebody else wants to call in. Anybody has anything else they want to say? Because we've gone over our hour. We are now at 1 hour and 20 minutes.
And Ronnie's back. What do you think about all this, Ronnie, about the new digital age, and how's it applying to you and your baked goods and everything? Or just you, period?
Your baked goods.
Well, it doesn't really affect... well, honestly, we're some other vendors at that large park and I are playing with Foursquare as a way to drive traffic within the park. And Twitter, I'm posting like hot baked goods as they go into the case so that anybody that's following the hashtag TRF can see what I just put in the case.
Nice.
Exactly.
So there are some digital and social media tools that I'm using working on driving in-park traffic. But what I'm looking at the digital age helping me, how it's helping me is that I have a focused fan base for 2 solid months, and then I disappear from their world for 10 months. So how to kind of keep myself in their radar and put myself on the PR team for the festival themselves and bringing more people to the venue.
There you go.
Because that's part of my job too.
It's something I want to throw out to you, to everybody listening who wants to promote, especially you guys who are live, excuse me, in these festivals. This, if you guys, especially have a new phone like a Droid or iPhone or something, there's a new app out there that'll work for promotion for you perfectly. It's called Color, just like Crayola, just C-O-L-O-R. It's an app that is social photography. That's essentially anybody running this app on their phone. You take a picture, Ron. Let's say you take a picture of when your cinnamon buns, whatever, comes out of the oven. And it's hot and fresh. You take that picture, immediately it goes out to everybody within 150 feet that has the app running. thing, and they get it on their phone and get a little notice. And so it's not spam because they've turned on. Basically, it's like the Tortuga Twins standing out there going, "Come see the show," except it's through the phone and it's a picture. So now they see that awesome food, or they see that you're about to go on stage, and I'd be like, "Oh man, I want to go over and get this hot and fresh, spinach quiche roll or whatever." Yeah.
Right.
And
Food Spotting is an awesome app also. And it has become a network where people are going to a restaurant and taking a photo and uploading it to Food Spotting. And then as a restaurateur, I can upload my own selection of photos, like the really good photos that I've taken. And the way Food Spotting works is if you're walking down the street and you're a member of Food Spotting and you walk by a place that has a listing, those photos come across your phone so you can decide where you want to go eat by pictures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody today runs into, I don't think you've really balked at any of the new technology, but a lot of people I talk to them like, why aren't you talking about podcasting? Why aren't you talking about doing a free video on YouTube? Why aren't you using these apps, Twitter? Like you said, follow the hashtag. You've developed your own hashtag. And well, that won't help me. Really? You got two Renaissance people. They pretend they're in the non-electronic age, and they can use social media to immediately promote their goods.
Right.
It works. Yeah.
And our shows or whatever we're doing. Hey, we're over here this weekend. Hey, we're doing this weekend. Hey, it's raining, but we're still here. Hey, there's a fire at the festival, but it's open, which is something that we used last year at the Arizona Renaissance Festival.
That
had a huge
was very
fire.
Effective.
Yeah.
That was
and actually, people came out to see it.
See the fire.
So, even though, because when we opened, it opened like maybe 15, 20 minutes late, but the fire trucks, they cordoned it off the area. The fire trucks were still on site, so they're out there. But by the end of the day, you were able to walk past the place where the fire had been, and people came out in droves. I think it was the last day. And the first thing, Jeffrey Siegel was a producer of the festival, and he's like, "Do you have Twitter?" And we thought he was going to yell at us, but he's like, "No, do you have Twitter? Let people know that this is happening." So phones came out. We're all like, come out and see us. We're still doing it. The festival's going to open today.
Exactly.
Because the news agencies were reporting the festival had burned down, the festival's closing, all this kind of stuff.
So the big negative, false negative advertising, converted it with the positive.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, you can use this stuff. I love that you mentioned Foursquare, Ronnie, because did you know on Foursquare you can do a special that if somebody checks in your site, you can offer a discount or whatever? And you guys can do that.
I don't know anything about Foursquare. I've looked at it. It's a phone app thing, right?
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know about that. You're playing on a phone over here.
It's a GPS-based game.
It's a phone.
And
there's no
by
app.
checking in places, you earn badges. Ronnie Rocks Back Porch is currently a venue. I'm the mayor of it.
There you go. Now, I would like to learn how to make badges, because even then you can get even more traffic. But if people find out Foursquare, I check in at the Tortuga stage or Tortuga Georgia Fest, they get a special Tortuga badge. It's not really a badge. It's really just pixels on the screen, but I'll do it. I love getting those things.
Maybe, you know what? We're going to have one of our brainstorming sessions, and you're going to have to explain Foursquare to me.
But this works for the lady who wants to publish her book. This works for Dave doing the coding. This works for anybody. This works for Miss Banana Republic folding her shorts. She can check in that she's folding her shorts, but eventually people follow you if you put interesting stuff on, and you make your world. You make your way.
Or at her new horse retail job.
There you go.
Here we go.
Okay, let me throw out some props to, I think we're coming to close of the show because we haven't had anybody else calling in.
Yeah.
So I want to
we have to go to sleep at some point.
and I have been driving all day, so I'm tired and hungry again because I have a fast metabolism. Woohoo!
And you have a cart to move tomorrow, so you have to get rest.
Yes. I have a cart to move tomorrow. I have stuff to do for bear crawling. Yes, irons in the fire, baby. Bigger, badder, better, more. So I want to give props out to Charles, Big C, and the Bear Crawling Nation. Come see his show.
Charles, are you coming out this weekend?
Thursday.
Not this weekend. I don't know what week we're coming. We're coming. Definitely.
Bearcrawling.com. Ronnie Rocks at RonnieRocks.com. That's RHONNI Rocks.com. And, of course, Audible.com. I've been pimping out Brian Tracy, his book Goals. and eat that frog. And as always, Jack Canfield and the Success Principles. And you can find me, Mordant, at Mordant World, Facebook.com/Mordant World, soon MordantWorld.com. Please like me on Facebook, like me here, be my friend here, and you can see me. I have video blogs, rockinyoutube.com/Mordant World. And I think that's everything.
No. I want to talk about YouTube, Ronnie Rocks. What's your YouTube channel, Ronnie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, there's a Ronnie Rocks channel on YouTube. I think the last thing I made was like in February. And then I started working on buying the house, and I haven't done anything else. Oh, we have to have a brainstorm session on that, too.
Yeah. Do you have a Foursquare for the Georgia Renaissance Festival? For the hair braiding booth?
There are, well, I have one for my back porch as a speakeasy, private venue.
You have a name for it?
Behind the scenes where the masks are removed. But there are a few, there are 3 different logins for the Georgia Renaissance Festival, and my neighbor Kelli and I are currently taking over mayorship of both of them. There are a couple of them. We should build one for Halfwit Harbor for the Tortuga show.
Yeah, you can. It's easy to build the site. You can do it for your friends,
or the cart, even.
So. Yeah, I'll do it.
And, we're going to talk merchandising. I want to talk merchandise for Ronnie Rocks and yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Blah, blah, blah.
I think it was just dwindled down.
I'll make a pot of tea. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right. So I want to thank everybody for spending some time on the variety show of The Other Side of Live. I think we will do this again. Just hit Control-A.
Oh, okay.
I think we will do this again sometime. It's been a lot of fun. Also, the other thing I wanted to mention, we're going to start inviting guests in and interview guests for the live show. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I might even bring Pocket Tortuga, our own Lucio, on.
That just sounded wrong.
That's not. You'll understand when you see him. Anyways, thank you for joining The Other Side of Live. This is R. Mordant Mon.
The next show. They want to know when the next show is.
The next show is going to be on April 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Tuesday, April 26th. The Other Side of Live. And I think the show is going to be called Your Money or Your Life. And we're going to have a surprise mystery guest to talk about Dave Ramsey and the Total Money Makeover. It is tax season, so I thought it'd be good for us to talk about money.
Sounds good to me.
So how it can be your friend. Sweet. So, ciao, dream catchers, and thank you for joining us here on The Other Side of Live.
Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. on a radio, stereo, the way you move ain't fair, no. Hey, soul sister,